you're dealing with clients, you're dealing with patients, you're dealing with staff. Oh my gosh. How do you manage your stress and your cortisol throughout your day? That just sounds like a lot. What are some tips that you do?
You're right. Like in a busy medical practice, it is go, 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 go. What I will say is I try not to, I might sit down for 15 minutes and like knock out my notes, and I don't want to be distracted, and everything sort of pauses. I try to sit down and eat, even if it's like 5 minutes. It is hard. But what I'll say is I really focus on when I'm at home.
So what are some top mistakes that you see mature women making with their skincare routine?
Oh gosh. Well, what's mature?
I'm thinking, for me, in my opinion, once you had like, I don't know, it's in their 30s, you're having mature skin, maybe 32 to 35. I feel like it's mature skin.
Okay. And I'm glad I asked, because I was thinking you were thinking like postmenopausal, but yeah, or like that perimenopausal skin.
Well, we're going to talk about that too, because that's where I'm at. But yeah.
Yeah. Well, in your 30s, a lot of times this is the age people are trying to get pregnant, or they're having children, right? And so there, could be a good disruption in what you do and what we might recommend for you to do. So yeah, the 30s, it just depends. Are you pregnant? Are you trying to get pregnant? Because that's going to alter things a little bit. In general, we don't recommend using like a retinoid during that time. If you're pregnant, to really avoid Botox. You might find someone who will do laser on you and things like that. But I find most of my pregnant patients, they're just like so excited about the baby and they're glowing, and they're not really worried about, volumizing their lips or their laser hair removal. But things like that could be done. But in general, we try to take a more hands-off approach during pregnancy, especially with those aesthetic things. But I would say as we get older, and this is like me speaking from personal experience, I used to have I still kind of have oily skin, but I did notice in my 40s, my skin started to get really dry. And I'd never needed a moisturizer before. I just used my sunscreen, kind of doubled as my moisturizer. So that is one thing I notice, more dry skin. For a lot of people, they'll notice sun damage will start to manifest. So maybe they hadn't been all that careful in the sun. And so they might get some discoloration on their skin, some sunspots that people will say. And then also in your 40s, we start getting these things, we call them barnacles. Those like warty growths that come out, and those are not from the sun. They're, I say you can blame your mom and dad because they're genetic, but a lot of times people are bothered by those. So those are some of the changes I see with skincare. And I think I don't know if I answered your original question though, Lindsay.
Yeah, I am so mad at my grandfather because I have seborrheic keratosis because of him, and there's just like nothing that you can do except, get that off. I even bought, when I had my spot, I bought a Skin Chic machine just to have those removed and my telangiectasias and like, and my sebaceous hyperplasia. I bought it for myself.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, that's how it's so funny. If we get like a new device, it's like, Dr. Mina needed some collagen boosting or whatever.
Yeah. Like I got that for me. And then
exactly.
And then the clients come after that. So I am premenopausal. So I would love to know how can I keep the collagen and firmness, in your opinion? Like, how can I keep that going? What are some tips and tricks?
Yeah. So I kind of joke because we're sort of Swifties in my house that I'm in my collagen banking era, right? So that's really like perimenopause. I mean, the best thing to age really, we say like age gracefully, right? Is prevention and maintenance. So if we can prevent the collagen loss, that's key. Now, naturally, we are going to lose collagen. We lose about 1% starting even in our 20s. And then after menopause, there's a big drop. So you think of it like a savings account, right? You want to, or your 401k, you want to start investing in it because there's going to come a time where you're going to need to, make a big withdrawal. So, there are tons of stuff you can do. I would say number one, if you do not want a premature age and you don't want to lose that collagen, is to not smoke and not get sunburns, because that is one of the fastest ways to accelerate collagen loss. So definitely do all that.
It's like, are people still smoking now? So back in the day, you used to look cool. Okay. When I was in high school, and now you just look stupid. You just look like, that's not good for you. It's like, now it's the uncool effect. So you're just, when I see somebody smoking, I'm like, ew.
I know, right? It used to be kind of glamorous. Well, now people vape and they think because it doesn't smell,
Went
you
into
can
your
do it inside, but it's still nicotine, which is going to accelerate aging. So don't do that, right? Otherwise, anything that Lindsay and I can do for you is just like, you might as well just burn your money, right?
right.
So those are big accelerators. So trying to avoid that. We had talked about when you were on my podcast, like just like healthy lifestyle habits. Like I can't emphasize this enough. Like getting a decent sleep, right? And enough sleep. That is huge. That's when your body repairs itself. So sleep makes a big impact. Managing your stress, right? Like it is so hard. We're so busy, so much stuff going on, but stress and that's just, you're in this like constant fight or flight state. That is not good for your skin. Your skin does not like that or want that. Alcohol, right? Just being aware of how much alcohol you're drinking. That I know we used to think a glass of wine a night was healthy, and I still enjoy wine, but I'm more aware of it and more intentional about when I am going to have a glass and really limiting it. So those are all important to prevent accelerated aging, right? But then what can we do to boost collagen? And other, topicals, sunscreen, number one. Number two, retinoids. Like I'm obsessed with retinol and retinoids. And I've been using one pretty consistently. I mean, I stopped when I had my kids and since even my 20s or even younger, really, because I had acne. So that is, we have amazing data on how it really boosts your collagen. I think the main reason people aren't on it is because it can be irritating. And even with all my decades of use, I still get peeling and irritation at times. So that's one that, if I could just say, get on one thing at night, it would be that. If you really can't tolerate retinoids, certain peptides, growth factors, exosomes, I think these are all cool things that are coming out that will see some improvement. And then, lots of in-office things we can do. I'm a big fan of biostimulants like Sculptra and Radiesse. Laser treatments, depending on the wavelength, can help boost collagen. And then at-home things like collagen supplements, right? The data, for a while I was a skeptic and I wasn't really recommending it, but now we do have some data suggesting that it could be helpful. It's not going to make you look like you were 18 again, but it's easy enough to take a little scoop, put it in your coffee, and go about your day. And then the other thing that I think is kind of popular and I can get behind are using like LED face mask. And I find a lot of people at first, again, I'm kind of a skeptic in the beginning, and I'm like, oh, that seems so crazy. Who's going to sit around doing that? And then all my friends are like, we like journal in the morning and have our coffee with it on, or we meditate. I'm like, you know what? That's actually kind of a great idea. So I just bought one for myself. So I will give it a try. And so those are some options for boosting your collagen and also helping prevent the accelerated loss of it.
I was just thinking about you when you're talking about managing your stress for the day. And I'm just picturing you in your office. You have like a gazillion people to see all day. You're pulled left and right. You're the owner. You're the doctor. You're dealing with clients. You're dealing with patients. You're dealing with staff. Oh my gosh. How do you manage your stress and your cortisol throughout your day? That just sounds like a lot. What are some tips that you do?
Oh my gosh. Well, I don't know if I'm the poster child because you're right. Like in a busy medical practice, it is go, 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 go. And I don't, what I will say is I try not to, I might sit down for 15 minutes and like knock out my notes, and I don't want to be distracted and everything sort of pauses. I try to sit down and eat, even if it's like 5 minutes, which sometimes it is, but it is hard. I would say if you have that kind of job, like I don't have, like my husband, he's at a desk, he could go outside for a walk and take a meeting. Like it's a totally different, so it is hard at work. But what I'll say is I really focus on when I'm at home, shutting down, right? Like I don't bring work home. I used to sit at my laptop at night and do stuff. And now I'm like, nope. When I'm home, that's my time with my family, with my kids, with reading, taking a walk, like that. That's what I do. And then really focusing on a structured sleep schedule. And I've really eliminated TV. And so instead of binge watching shows at night, I have my bedtime routine. I read to my kids, and then we all get in bed at the same time. And I get a good, I would say 6 to 7 hours, which 7 hours for me is more than enough. Even 6 consistently, I feel good. But what I can't get by on is anything less than that. I used to have a really hard time like shutting down and going to sleep. So this has really just helped me just forming like that routine. So yeah, I probably could use some work in the office, but that's my routine at home. And I did just want to add, Lindsay, I didn't mention for one of my big newest kind of favorite things is topical estrogen. Is yes,
Oh, you
I don't
gotta
know
have
how.
that. I
I know.
have to have that on, or my face will literally fall. It'll just melt.
I am loving it. I'm 45 and I mean, I don't necessarily have other symptoms, but I'm like, I know just biologically my estrogen levels are fluctuating and some months they may be high, some months they may be low. And there's data coming out. I mean, we know that estrogen in the vaginal skin, how important it is, how it prevents infections and sepsis, and it can hydrate and all of that. And so it makes sense that our skin that has estrogen receptors would need that as well. And so what I've been doing now is I use it in place of a moisturizer. So now my estrogen cream is my moisturizer. And it's super safe. I mean, most companies are making it with estriol, which has really low to negligible chance of absorption. So even if you were like, I don't want to do systemic, or someone told you couldn't, that topical can work nicely. And even if you are on systemic, believe it or not, your skin, including your vaginal skin, still needs that topical application for the benefits. So I'm a big fan of estriol cream, and some people, I think some of the OG ladies will just use their vaginal estrogen cream on their face. But in the last probably 5 years, we now have products that are formulated for the skin, and I think they feel amazing. I love them.
It feels like a moisturizer. Mine glides on really wonderful. In fact, I'm really excited about this. I don't know if people know this or not, but so I have an appointment on Monday with the brand Raina, who is, I always do not say her name right. I'm so sorry. Dr. Connelly's daughter owns that. And I'm really excited because, I am on my estrogen patch and my progesterone. I did not know that progesterone, if you get it at CVS pharmacy, has peanut oil in it and has dyes in it. I had no idea. And it has titanium dioxide. I did not know that. So they have it all. There's no peanut oil in theirs. I worked so hard on my diet to have no seed oils and no bad oils. I was like, what? I'm having this every night. I was so mad. So I'm very excited. My appointment's on Monday. So I'm going to take that. So if that's a tip for you guys, if you're look what's on your progesterone, if you're taking that. And then obviously you want to make sure that that's going through your liver okay. You just want to have a professional with that. But yes, I started that about estriol on my face, I think about 3 months ago, and it has made the biggest difference. And now I put it on my hands.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, I rub it like pretty much all my skin. Like they need to make a big pump size for it, because I would just slather myself in. Yeah, 100%. No, I really, it's so funny how my patients will come in, they're like, oh my gosh, I didn't even know I could do that. And you can do this at any age. Well, I shouldn't say any age, but I don't need to prescribe this for my 10-year-old, right? But anyone who's 40 plus could benefit. And I had a patient who was in her late 60s, and I'm like, yes, you can still be on this. You can still use this. It's safe. And so I'm just excited about that. And I'm loving it too. I use it just in lieu of my moisturizer.
I think it's just not talked about enough. And I think a lot of women don't know that it's out there. I think they just think, oh, all I have is a retinol and that's it. I don't have any other options. And you can do that. And I have an 𝐬𝐤𝐢𝐬 serum on its way now. I'm going to try that. And I use peptides. So yeah, I think that's really important. So what does your morning routine, your skincare morning routine, and your nighttime routine look like? I know you're getting busy, for work, and then you're busy coming home. So what does that look like?
Well, I'm pretty basic, although, so I'll tell people my mom is a true skin minimalist. I have tried to get her a retinol estriol cream. She just is not having it. I think what does she use? Maybe like oil of Olay, and or maybe now I have her on CeraVe, but she'll like coat her face. She'll be like all white with her lotion, and then it just soaks in. And she does have beautiful skin. I mean, she's 70, about to be 70. So she's like one extreme. And then there are people who really love their skincare. And I'm kind of in the middle. I don't like to spend a lot of time on my skincare, but I would say for me personally, what I do is in the morning, I actually don't wash my face. Do you wash your face, Lindsay?
I do not wash my face.
Yeah. So in the morning, I just splash water on it. And then I put on, let's see, a vitamin C serum, either vitamin C or some sort of antioxidant. I do my estriol cream, and then I do my sunscreen. So that's my morning routine.
So we have the same morning routine.
Yeah. I mean, I think it takes 3 minutes, right? Let each one dry for a minute, and then
I do my lymphatic drainage with mine. Like I do it, I build it into my routine, so then I'm done with it.
Yeah. Well, and then at night. So at night, you do need to wash your face, right?
Oh, so, yeah. And I've got that sunscreen and everything. I've got to, you got to break it down.
Yeah, exactly. So I do wash my face at night. And then right now I'm enjoying the plated exosomes. I'm not like a sponsor or anything like that, but I really do love them. And so I've been using that, and I put it on my face, my neck, my tops of my hands. And then I let that dry, and then I put, let's see, what do I do? Then I use my retinoid.
1 second on that. People need to go to their website. Their before and afters are incredible.
Well, and you know what else I love about it? The doctors and researchers who created it are from the Mayo Clinic, right? Like this is legit. These are legit scientists and researchers, and they're also looking at this beyond just cosmetics, right? They're looking at this like growing organs and healing wounds and things like that. So I really believe in the science with it. And so I do use their products. So I do my plated, and then I do my tretinoin, which is my retinoid. And then I do my estriol cream again. And then if I'm experiencing some really dry skin, I might, like if it's winter or sometimes my eyelids get a little dry, I could add a little like Aquaphor or a little thicker moisturizer on as well. But that's really it. And I don't always do my tretinoin. I probably aim to do it like 4 to 5 nights a week.
So with not devices, but I'm missing the word here. Procedures.
Okay.
Do you like for your clients to have a certain amount of procedures each year, like how many lasers or resurfacing, or what do you like to do?
Well, it's so funny. I only just like last week had my first laser on my face ever. And I like trained where the lasers were invented and developed. But so I think it just depends, right? Like I don't have brown spots on my face that need to be removed, right? So someone might need that. I did it more for the collagen boosting. So I do think now that I am 45 that I will be doing an annual collagen boosting with the laser.
And what laser is it? Because people are going to want to know.
Yeah, this one was the Ultra Clear. It's an erbium fractionated laser. And so I do like that. We also have the Ellacor, and I think that that's a nice device for people. And, not necessarily annual, but I would say maybe every couple of years for sure it can help. But it really depends on what you're struggling with. If it's more like redness, like a lot of people get that red brown on their chest, then that's going to be a different laser. That's going to be more like an IPL or something for blood vessels. If you have a lot of sun damage to correct, then that could be a really strong chemical peel or a device like what I had, but different settings. So I think it just really depends. And I find it's important to talk to people about what are their goals and then what's their budget too, right? Because we can't, unless you're a dermatologist, right? Like you can't get everything. It costs money, and most people don't have an unlimited, like do whatever you want. So I think it's important to come up with a plan. This is not a one-time thing. This is a relationship you have, just like we were talking about how it's a relationship with your esthetician, right? And we're not going to necessarily have miracles. I mean, we can get some pretty phenomenal results with a treatment and all, but it's really everything working together. And so I know some people are like, oh, I never want injectables, but they're cool with lasers. Some people, don't want lasers but they'll do a chemical peel, like everyone's got their little like quirks. And I think it's important, like we don't shame anyone for whatever they do or don't want to do. But really, like, my goal is just to help. So I say, I just want them to look in the mirror and feel good about themselves. And not necessarily, we're not going to make you look, if you're 45, we're not going to make you look 20 again, but let's make you look amazing right now at this stage of your life. And realize, like, stamping out every line and wrinkle isn't necessarily the goal. It's just, I really think if you have like beautiful, clear skin, that's like, number 1, 2, and 3 of importance.
Okay. So when the skin starts to sag and the microcurrent, it's just not
doing it. Yeah.
It's not doing it. Like, in your opinion, like, you've seen so many women, like, when do you think we should start saving up for that facelift or having that conversation?
Yeah. Well, and this is an interesting one too, because I'll see patients where I'm like, because my partner and I, we actually do lower facelifts and necklace. And so I'll tell them, like, really, especially if they're going like this, like anyone watching, they're pulling their jowls back, right? If they're doing that, I'm like, you're going to be disappointed by the devices that we have, right? So I think, but then I have some people who are like, I'm just terrified about surgery. I never want surgery. And so I will say, okay, well, we could try some like laser coring. We could try some micro coring. Some people will do like soft wave or radio frequency. So there are things we can do with devices, and I think they can help. But if you truly have like skin folding on skin, you just have to be aware that these devices, they're not gonna, they might improve it, but it's not gonna be like a face or neck lift. So I think you just have to be realistic. And sometimes you'll spend so much money on these procedures that in the long run, you could have just had like one lower facelift and gotten it done, right? But I do think people just get really scared about the idea of surgery.
I have prepped my husband. I'm like, listen, when I'm 55, I'm telling him, he's like, you are not going to do that. I go, watch me. I'm getting it done.
I know. I would say my goal, and I don't know when or if or what, like, I'm going to leave possibilities open, but I would say if you can really maximize taking care of your skin as soon as you can, like really prevention and eating healthy and maybe doing these more preventative things, you could probably push that facelift, that neck lift, you could probably like kick that can down the road a good bit. And to me, that's kind of like the goal. Like, I don't necessarily want to be getting a facelift every 10 years, starting at 50 if I don't have to, right? I would rather try to maximize what I can now and then sort of push that down.
Yeah. So do you think I could push it to 60?
Oh, I think you look amazing.
Oh, I don't want it right now, but I'm thinking, gosh, in a few more years, I don't know how long I could keep this up. So I'm just preparing for my future, put a little way.
You're doing all the right things. Yeah. I mean, just looking at you now, I'm not seeing like jowling and things like that. And you're, so who knows, right?
Who knows?
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's kind of my goal. Is I'm not afraid of surgery. In fact, like, I love, love, love. One of my favorite things to do is a blepharoplasty on people, because it just opens the eyes up really, really nicely. But I find like people might be okay with that, but then you say neck lift, or facelift, they get, I think they start picturing like, I don't know, some of these like, celebrities that they see photos of, and they get really nervous.
My dad had that, and his eyes look so much better. And he just, like, physically, it was just like in his eyes, like you couldn't see. So he looks refreshed too. So
yeah, but don't be afraid of surgery. There definitely is a place for it. And yeah, by the time you spend all this money on these devices, you've probably already could have paid for a facelift.
That is true. That is true. Okay. So let's talk about, real quick before we go, your app. You're building your app. What's in the app? What can people get out of it? I'm so excited for you. Congratulations.
Oh, well, thank you. Yes. You know what it's a labor of love, right? To get an app out there. But the reason I did it is, first of all, like, we're all on our phones, right? Like, rarely are we sitting, I guess maybe if you're at work or something, sneak it in, but we're on our phones all the time. And I felt like I had my website, I have YouTube, I have Spotify, I've got Apple Podcast, like everything was sort of in lots of different places. And I wanted everything just in one sort of like vault where people could go and find it. and they could find it very easily from their phone. So that's really why I started it. And then kind of like you, I love your idea of like the questions the exclusive questions you have with your guests. I think that's brilliant. And I'd love to do kind of like a week or a monthly Q&A and just maybe kind of form like a community for people. Cause I know there are tons of questions, as you know, right? Like people always have questions. They're confused. They don't know what to do. And they're looking for someone that they trust. And so hopefully that app can be that for them, and they can get some really good resources.
Excited. When do you have a launch date? Do you have anticipation date and when it's coming out?
Well, so the what is it? The beta mode is out now, and then I'm working on sort of putting the bells and whistles on it now. But yeah, you can actually go. I say Apple, but because I have an iPhone. Where do you go if you have an Android? I don't know, but it's
Google
available.
Play Store.
Google. Okay. So it's available for Android and iPhone right now. And then as you know, it's free. And then you will probably notice if you download it that over the next like couple of weeks, it'll get a little bit fancier, sleeker, more options, more stuff going on.
You're always tweaking it. There's always something to do in it. That's what I'm finding out. And then you want this feature, that feature. It's just an endless, it's fun, but you're just like constantly be doing it. So,
oh yeah, I am totally going to go download yours as soon as we get off this recording.
And see how it works too.
Yes.
Yeah. Hey, Dr. Mina, where can people find more information about you?
Yeah. So I am on all the socials. You know, I'm trying. I'm at Dr. Mina Skin. I have a podcast called The Skin Reel. I do have an app like you do called The Skin Reel, where everything is sort of all in one place. And then if you are wondering, okay, I really don't know where to start, what I need to do for my skin, I have a freebie you can grab at theskinreel.com/habits, where I kind of walk through what you really need for your skincare.
Well, thank you so much. I learned so much today, and thank you for sharing with the audience. And everybody go follow Dr. Mina, and we'll give you all the places to follow. Thank you so much for being on the show, Dr. Mina. And I appreciate your time.
Thank you, Lindsay. This was a lot of fun.
Thank you.